Hello and welcome back. It's Christmas Eve 2016. I was pretty unhappy with what I built before as far as the terrain is considered. So I think that part of the reason that Forge World looks so nice in Halo is it's got these nice mountains in the background and there's all this water. And I'm not going to try to build that stuff right now. So I'm just going to go ahead and box the player in with cliffs. So to do that, I went ahead and deleted the terrain because I hated it. So I put the player at position 0, 1, 0, and now I'm going into game object, 3D object, terrain, and we're going to put that at minus 250, 0, minus 250, and so now the player is roughly centered within that terrain. We're going to add textures to that. You go to the paint tab within the terrain component, add texture, and we have these surface textures. So I'll do grass, add cliff albedo, add grass rock, add muddy rock. This one comes with a corresponding normal texture. Normals just give it a little bit more bumpiness. And then we have sand. And let's paint some new height on this. The player's in the center, so let's just box them in. Let's move the opacity up to something like 20. Brush size of about 70. There we go. And it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm sure you guys don't want to watch me tweak this for an hour. Just try to make something that you're satisfied with. So I'm going to go back into my paint tools and select this cliff texture and just start painting that on. Drop the brush size to about 30. Just get some nice variation in there. I know I'm going kind of fast, but it's really not super complicated. And you can try to make it look however you want. Oh, that looks awful. Okay, so if you come up with something you hate, just increase the brush size and opacity to erase everything. Like so. So now go back down to brush size, opacity, like that. Yeah, that's much more satisfying. Just get a little bit of variation in there. I think it makes sense to have like cliffs made of rock and then some dirt at the bottom. Like that. Whoa. Put some more green at the top. It's certainly not an exact science. Go into play mode. We're off to a decent start. And now we can paint some trees. So to do that, go into Place Trees, Edit Trees, Add Tree, and your Speed Tree folder has your trees. Okay, so we just added that. I usually don't do mass place trees because it tries to add a lot, and you don't have a lot of control over it. So I usually just drop this down to about 2. Well, that's weird. The minimum tree density is 10. I don't know why it's doing that. Anyway, if you just click wherever you want the trees to be, you can manually place them. Yeah, that's looking much better. Okay, and then just really quickly, I'll show you my workflow for creating rocks. So I go into 3ds Max, start from scratch, add a box, and I give it about 100 subdivisions, length, width, and height. Convert that to an editable poly. And this certainly isn't an exact science, I just sort of make it up as I go. But go into freeform, flatten, and then let's shrink this whole thing down. There. Just give it like kind of a crazy shape at first. Not that crazy. Whoops. Undo, undo, undo. Zoom in. Okay. Well, that was frustrating. Bring up the brush size to about 200. And just try to give it an interesting shape. We're going to smooth it out soon. Okay, and then you go into Relax, Soften. Like that. These tools are actually a lot of fun to play with. It's like working with clay. Okay, so that's fine for now. And then we go into Materials. You can go Materials, Scan Line, Standard. And then if you try to add, for the diffuse color slot, I'm going to add a bitmap. And I found this rock texture on textures.com. It's free. Show and viewport. Okay, so that's a decent start. The only problem is that it has a ridiculous amount of polygons. So I go into the modifier tab and add a optimize modifier. And that's going to drop it from 60,000 vertices to 2,000. Quite an improvement. Collapse that, and then add a UVW modifier. And I use the spherical mapping. That looks fine. It looks a little bit weird on top and directly at the bottom. I'm not going to worry about that now. So then we want to export this as an FBX. I'll just put it on the desktop. Rock 3, save, and then you need to make sure you click this Embed Media checkbox. That's the only way that the rock texture is going to come through. So we export that. We can drag that into Unity, Rock 3. And then just drop that in. It doesn't look fantastic, especially not when it's that size. Let's walk up to it and see how it looks up close. It could probably use more detail, but I just wanted to show off the basic workflow for now. So then we can duplicate that with Control D, scale it, and rotate it however we see fit. We're just going to make this look a little bit more like a cliff. Just kind of play with it. It's supposed to be fun. I'm not gonna put a download link for these rocks in the description because I don't think they're really high enough quality that you would want to use them in your game. From a distance, they look alright. I think I'll wrap this video up here. Thanks for watching.